Call this meeting order. Our regular meeting, Board of Commissioners, Monday, August 8th at 5 p.m. I want to do a roll call. Mr. Burris? Yeah. Mr. Pope?
Present.
Mr. Lucas?
Here.
Mr. Barton?
Aye, present.
Here it is. Okay. Let's approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda that's set forth in front of us.
Second.
Got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, our guest speaker, we done took care of that, so had him, that's the approval of the minutes for July 2022. The call meeting, the work session, the regular meeting, the work session, public hearing, and the call meeting. I guess we can do them all at one time, can't we?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the approval for minutes of the meetings for July.
Okay.
I'll second that.
I got a second. All right, any discussion on it? If not, let's vote on it. Mr. Burris, Mr. Pope,
Aye.
Mr. Lucas,
Aye.
Mr. Barner,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Okay. Now, we're gonna go on the agenda items, a resolution for 2022-11 distribution of local option sales tax. Now, we've been through that and we know what it's all about. We just need to vote on it then? We need to, I hear a motion that we accept it.
I'll make a motion that we accept the distribution of local option sales tax as detailed.
Okay,
Second.
you got a second, okay? Any discussion? If not, let's vote on it. Mr. Burris, Mr. Pope,
Aye.
Mr. Lucas,
Aye.
Mr. Barner,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Okay. Now, the B is the air conditioning unit for the courthouse. And, we went over that, we know what it's all about. I guess we'll just, we gotta, I hear a motion to accept this.
Chairman, I move we accept the proposal for the Train 25-ton HVAC system for the courthouse in the total amount of $398,902.
Okay. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, got a second. Now, any discussion on it? Anything anybody wants? Need to know before we vote.
Mr. Major said the ARCA money's gonna pay for this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have most of that money left. And since you mentioned it, we just got our second allocation last week.
Okay, good.
And this is gonna be the third unit replaced on the courthouse, right?
That's, yes, sir, the third unit. So the front hall area of the courthouse, all the offices in the front hall, and it also covers the two lobby areas.
Okay.
How many
Okay.
more units are left?
Two.
Two.
Two more?
Two more.
Are they as big as these are?
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe so.
They are?
Yes, sir. Because they cover, I think, the area upstairs, because the second one we put in covered the back hall where state court is. I'm not sure of that, but I believe there is two more left.
Okay. Any more discussion on it?
Only thing I'd like to bring out, Mr. Chairman, is this proposal's good for 30 days and it was given on July 28th, so we need to get it in ASAP
Yep.
if we're gonna approve it.
Okay. All right, any more, anything else? All right, let's vote on it. Mr. Pope,
Aye.
Mr. Lucas,
Aye.
Mr. Barner,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Council, do I need to call his name out, Mr. Burris?
You don't have to since he's not here.
Not,
That's
I don't have to if he's.
Not every time, that's fine.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, C, rezoning application, 1917 Kidder Street and 610 South Augusta Avenue. I hear a motion on that.
I make a motion we approve the rezoning application for Keller and South Augusta Avenue.
I'll second it.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? Not, vote on it. Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. All right, county manager's report.
I don't have any, I was gonna mention about that second allocation of that ARPA money, but since that came up, I just mentioned it. So that's all I had, yes, sir.
Okay, we did have that come in, that money that came in from,
Yes, sir, from the federal government. We just got it last week, so, we got most of the first batch left, and then we have the second allocation. And, you know, just mentioning that, one of the things that, you know, I'd like for the commission to consider is, you know, with the, we don't know what's gonna happen with SPLOST, and those funds can be used for general fund purchases, expenses, and those kind of things, so it might be best that, you know, we keep that in mind for that reason, you know, because
Okay.
you'd be able to use it for general fund expenses.
if we have to build that fire department in Ware, can we use that money for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I know the city of Waycross, I think, bought a fire truck for theirs some months ago.
okay, what was it?
So how long have you got to, hold?
December of 2024, I believe.
It's gotta be gone by then?
Yes, sir. It has to be allocated basically,
Oh,
but not
okay.
spent.
Okay. Any commissioners comment?
And
Y'all got
I got
anything?
one, the bid on the Win Clay Tanner Lane will be open on the 25th of August, Brandon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe,
2:00.
maybe they can get started shortly after it, once all the paperwork signed out on it. How about the paving on Jamestown Road where the railroad tore it up? When are they gonna fix that?
They, met with, the contractor this morning on the concrete portion of that work, and they were waiting on the location to get started. I think we worked everything out, Scott, had to with CSX. so
Yep.
Getting into, all of the logistics of the work to be performed and up to our standards and specifications, our approval, and, the release that they were asking for, everything on that, so there's a little bit of emails back and forth, get all that ironed out. I think as soon as they do the concrete work, they'll probably be coming back to the roadway.
You talking about concrete work, you talking about the sidewalks, the curb and gutter?
Sidewalks, curb and gutter, the top of the box was broken. There was an apron that was cracked and broken. So there were several concrete items, handicap ramp, I think, was broken.
So that's the project to repair the right-of-way and road damage done by the CSX derailment.
Yes, sir.
And who will do that? Will we be in charge of that and be reimbursed, or what? They will do it to our specifications?
They'll do all that, I
Their
imagine.
contractors are gonna do it, and they're gonna pay their contractors. We're just gonna be involved with work and making sure that everything's done
Inspections, basically.
or our specifications.
Good.
Okay,
But it's about ready to get started though.
Yes, sir, I believe so. I didn't remember any more questions coming back from our last correspondences.
No, I haven't seen
They
any.
met with the contractor this morning to look at the concrete items, and he was waiting for the locators to be completed, and he was gonna start work.
Okay.
anybody else? Brendan, I'd like to ask something on these, on this LMIG thing. We got some roads that's been on that thing a long time. I think Scott, remember that 8 Mile Post Road? There's a section of that thing, it was supposed to have been done 5 or 6 years ago, wasn't it?
I know it came up, and I'm not sure, because this is one of the ones me and you talked about, but I don't know what the history is on that, but I know it was some years ago, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man. It's getting pretty rough. We got some sections of roads that need to be looked into, that's been on there a long time. Just like you got 8 Mile Post Road right there, 2 point, that up at the end.
Oh, yeah, Swanee Chapel. That's, so
Yeah,
Swanee
you got
Chapel
8
Road.
Mile Post,
is
Swamp
listed for
Road.
Swanee Chapel, and then this is what I was saying, that's a from and a to.
Yeah.
That'd be the beginning of Swanee Chapel Road, where we would start it, and where it would be finished there. So those are sections of that road, Swanee Chapel. It's a beginning and an end with a length, and then he's got that overall price broken down by sections.
Right.
Because we know that there's $23 million worth of roads listed there, but we don't have the funds for 23 million. So you can take that overall project and break it down for those specific portions of the road, and then he's got an estimate for that part.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, some of it is more, I mean, there's some of them roads that don't need, it's not pushed that hard. It's not heavily traveled, like a Swamp Road. There's very little travel on that road.
Yes.
There's some busy roads.
Well, the whole idea was to have a discussion of those projects and for y'all to be able to give us input exactly like you're doing right now, of ones you have, give priority to, the ones that you would rather see not have a priority. That, Swamp Road, around those patches in that area is some of the, worst roads because of all the locking and everything that's went on out there.
Yeah,
It's in pretty bad shape, it's been eroded pretty bad, but the fact that there's not as much traffic, you could move it down the list even though it's, in pretty bad shape.
yeah, I see where you got it though, you got from to, and that's all, just all the way down the Swamp Road. You can go from one section to the other. You got it listed
You have to
like,
break it up in sections because you don't have the money to do all of it.
go all, yeah. Would we do overlay or just resurface? Let Littlefield do rock resurface on it. That would probably be the,
Overlay, resurface, some of that's got some edge failures because of
Yeah.
log trucks and things like that, where it actually probably needs some widening to it down.
yeah. It's a whole lot cheaper to do that resurfacing, ain't it? Than overlay. Overlay is expensive.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're putting that running asphalt down it. But if you just do the rock, I mean, you can get miles of that for a lot less money. And that's a lot of that road, all it needs is just some surface treatment.
Yes.
I would think, I mean,
I think most of
that's
these
what a
are
lot of
surface
roads, and
treatment.
you
aren't
get a
they?
lot more done for that.
So most of them are surface treatment, except for maybe, except for Albany Avenue.
Would it help y'all, would y'all prefer for each commissioner to come up with a priority list and then sit down and everybody go through the list and generate whatever y'all need to take
Yes,
from
sir.
state?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if you're just
Do that.
thinking of only using LMIG and then whatever our match is, you're only talking about probably no more than about $1.2 million
Right.
altogether.
That's all we would need to match it? Does that
Yeah, it's
include?
10%. We'd have to put 10% on top of that.
How much
One-
is it? How
that-
much is that on Albany Avenue? Does that include? Because I would
Well,
think,
yeah, the first section there from city limits out to Fulford Road is like 1.3. You can always put more money with it, but I'm just saying as far as the requirement,
That's the minimum.
that's the
Yeah.
minimum.
Minimum project is 1.2, so you could do as much as you wanted to spend.
Well, I don't wanna spend, you know, I don't know how much that overpass is gonna cost, 30, 40, 50 million dollars, you know, and I know part of that's gonna be state funded, but I don't wanna put an overpass up and the road not be fixed before and after the overpass. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause if we spend all that money and allot that money for that overpass, just like on US one, just like we're fixing to do for Jamestown. You know, we're putting in a bridge over there, so the road before it and the road after it needs to, you know, run together, good, be in good condition. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying that right?
Right.
We probably wanna overlay Albany Avenue there.
But there won't be any overpass unless it's lost.
That's splash passes, that's right. Brandon, can you tell me do you know about what the difference is in the surface in overlay?
We can go back and look at that old Nichols Highway project and prorate something for you on that.
On that and see, because we may want to, and if the commission will go that way, we may could do some of that Swamp Road, those roads like that, instead of spending so much on asphalt on them, we could do that surface treatment on them.
What were you saying, Scott, was in the regional fund, right?
About 3.5 million, I think.
And then what? Okay. So we got
Yeah, we get a lot of it done like that.
3.5 million in the regional, $1 million in the Bellmead.
Okay.
And we gotta come up with 10%, is that right?
Yes, and a lot of those projects are listed because they've come up in discussions.
Yeah.
Albany Avenue being one, Swamp Road being another one, and
Right.
Jamestown, I think, one of y'all mentioned the Jamestown Highway.
Yeah.
So we've been, putting those down as they came up, and then ones that, we've noticed on our own that needed something done to.
Can we use that LMIG on paving dirt roads too? We can?
Yes, sir.
Just not out at the swamp, though.
We can,
Oh, gosh.
we need to get some of them paved.
Yes.
Has, Mr. Brooks, mentioned anything to you about ABC Avenue, Brandon? There was a couple potholes there, had a couple complaints, vehicles hitting some.
Was that right there between Cherokee and
Wacona.
Wacona Drive?
Yes, sir.
I did ask him about that, and I don't know, I had went back over there to see if they came through there with the cold mixed.
Okay, I'll check it when I
overlay
get
those,
home.
but we did talk about those, yes.
I know some of those potholes were right off that edge.
Right off the edge, yeah.
And where they're actually cracking and busting off.
There's so much traffic when a train is down on that end. There's so much traffic that comes down. I mean, sometimes it's backed up past Cherokee Avenue of people trying to get across the railroad right there, and you got Wacona backed up because of the trains down there on Ossie Davis.
And it's not wide enough.
It's not wide enough
for vehicles to pass, so then they get off the road to let another vehicle pass, and
And it just deteriorates it.
edge failures show up and the potholes and everything we have there.
And another thing I'd like to bring up, just for discussion, I've had several complaints with the county water department, not the county water department, but the water department, I guess it's called Satilla or whatever. It's not under Ware County, it's their own little entity, but when they go in there and cut up the roads to fix their plumbing or their piping or whatever they do, and they come back and they patch our roads, they're doing a not up to par job, because the road, when they get through fixing it, later on, I mean, you're talking about big issues, big problems, washouts, people's running alignments on the cars being knocked out and that kind of stuff. And we're talking about roads that we've just got through paving, and then they'll go in there 6 months later and they'll cut a trench through it. Is there any way we can sit down with the powers that be over the water department and discuss how they need to properly fix these roads?
I know they wait a few days before they go back and actually patch it, but a lot of that does have to do with compaction.
I mean, there's like, I know about 6 locations right now where they just got rock and sand.
What they trying to do is leave them open and get a couple of rings on them and have traffic on them to try to decrease the amount of settlement that'll show up later.
Okay.
But the problem with that is you have to maintain that cut
Right.
during that time. And so,
They're running into bigger issues because these torrential rains we've been having, and then cars go over it, and then you start seeing more of the asphalt giving way,
yeah.
you know, and they're actually making it worse, in my opinion. I just didn't know if there was anything we could do to meet with them to,
Yeah, tell our inspector to make sure the job's done right. That's how you do it.
They'll also wait till they have, several of them to do it one time, and then they'll go back in and do them as a group,
okay.
keep them happy, be more efficient with their materials and labor.
Does the railroad own any right of way to any section of ABC Avenue?
That portion of the road that you're talking about there is all on, CSX right away.
Oh, it is.
We can't do nothing on that.
So whenever they decide they're gonna 4-lane that road's probably gonna be closed, right?
That's a great question, is it 15 feet between the tracks? Something like that.
It's real close, yeah.
You have to go out there and pull the tape and see where the road is and see how far it is from that.
If they put two more lanes, rail car lanes in there for rails, it'll take up that whole road. I mean, you're talking about, you're gonna put parked tracks almost up, you know what I'm talking about, Jimbo, right there? It's gonna put tracks at almost people's front door on sections of ABC Avenue if they put 4 tracks in there like they're talking about doing.
I think what you'll see is one on each side. Not two more.
Not 2 more on that side.
I think if they've got right away there, make it match
Down at the end. Okay.
But it's still-
Okay, any more?
Took that road down way down.
Way down. Yep.
I got one thing for you. Are you through?
Yeah.
The Albany Avenue, Industrial Park, the railroad crossing there, both of them needs fixed. I mean, so you
Yeah, I contacted them about changing those out, and they were supposed to pass the word on to CSX about having those, but I haven't heard anything back yet.
They've had.
Yeah, there's quite a few others that are the same way around.
There's a bunch of crossings like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right,
Thank you, Brandon.
Any more? No more commission comment. Okay, I hear a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.